Oh, crap.
Hey, I'm looking for the wonderful and talented Chris Turner.
That is me.
Okay. And he's modest, too.
Welcome to
That's
Ham
great.
Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Turner. He's a comedian. He's a rapper. He's an astronaut, practicing gynecologist, and a rabbi. He's everything that you need. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Turner is on the phone.
I'm a practicing gynecologist, too.
Me, too. I like to muff dive, and that's how I make sure my girls are okay.
I fake it.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed. I'm amazed you knew all of my jobs despite those not being on my resume.
Well, there's a little thing called Wikipedia, sir. Just saying.
Word travels fast.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the business. I'm in the business. We'll figure it out, Chris. So the amazing thing, because we just played, Billy just played a sample of you on doing your stand-up and the audience shouting out things that you had to put into a rap, and you did a flow, and you dropped bars, as they say on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
My question is, how the fuck did a British guy, a white British guy, become a rapper? Where does that start? Where does that process happen? Because you're also a stand-up. So where does the rap part come in, though?
So it starts accidentally and illegally.
Good
back
job.
in the day of file sharing, when everyone was downloading their music from LimeWire and Kazaa and Napster, all the stuff that Lars Ulrich from Metallica hates. I used to ask this Somalian British kid at my school called Khalid. He would get you any album you wanted. So I'm like, hey, I want all these Nirvana albums. And he would burn them onto CD for you. But like the Nirvana albums were 45 minutes long. So there'd be half an hour left on the CD.
Right.
And he hated to see, like, the CD unused.
Yeah.
So he would just fill it up with songs that he liked. And he loved Dr. Dre. He loved Snoop Dogg. He loved Eminem. So I ended up listening to all these songs, being like, you know what? This is pretty cool. And I started then, like, trying to get the full albums of, like, Outkast Stankonia album with Miss Jackson on, and Bombs Over Baghdad, and like all these incredible records. And I listened to them. I was like, these are amazing. Like, how can anyone be so smart that they can just make this up? Because my dumb British brain thought that rap music was made up, right? The first time you watch stand-up, you're like, they're just making up stories. That's incredible.
Right.
That was how I felt about rap. I felt that Eminem, that Dre, that Snoop, they were all just freestyling these incredible lyrics. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. And that's how I, from the age of 12, started doing it.
Oh, okay.
So when did your dumb British brain figure out that they were writing stuff down?
Oh.
I think it was a gradual process, because I'd be doing it and some people would be like, nah, you're wrong. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. Freestyling is this thing. And they're like, yeah, but no one does it. I'm like, no, I think they do it. I think you're giving them less credit. And then when I got to university, I started doing improvised comedy. And we had these games where the audience would, just at any point the audience could say, rap. And you'd have to suddenly, in the scene you were performing, you'd have to start rapping.
Wow.
And it turned out that I was quite good at it without realizing this was a marketable skill, because, who wants to see a white British guy rap? It turns out a lot of people.
I was going to say, a lot of people, yeah. You have a very interesting, does the accent fuck you up when you're doing it?
Or does it help?
Yeah.
I think it helps people understand it. I think, if you just listen to a couple of modern rap songs, your ear isn't really attuned to it. If you're just like an average listener who's not paying a lot of attention,
yeah.
So you might not get the slang, you might not get it. There'll be kind of like little ad-libs, kind of, moves between words. But because I have that British accent, it means the words stand out a little bit more and are a bit more decipherable. When I rap also, my voice will change depending on the beat. I try and fit it into the beat, right? Like Nicki Minaj is like a maestro when it comes to using different voices over different beats and switching them up in the middle. And that was something I always liked doing, to kind of change my tone to fit the music or the topic, right? Like, I love, if someone suggests something vaguely European, I love being able to do an accent from Europe to fit that.
And by the way, if you don't know, Chris Turner has the same size ass as Mickey Minaj. Just so you know. He's gone 100%.
The only thing we have in common.
Yes, 2 big dumpers. Like, just boom! Look at those cheeks. That's what Chris brings to the table. Also brings a great stand-up career, and that's the thing. Like, I want to venture out of the rap game for a second, because I know that's your niche, and that's the cool thing there. But the stand-up game, because you are a regular at the Comedy Cellar, right?
Yeah. I was there the last 2 nights. I did 6 shows there.
But that's what I'm saying. So the Comedy Cellar, which is usually the best of the best, hang out at the Comedy Cellar, and to become a regular, you have to be a tremendous, stand-up to do that. Like, because there's the legendary big table at the Comedy Cellar where everybody, like, Norton and Colin Quinn and all the big, Keith Robinson, the big table where everyone sits, and it's kind of like Jesus and the other 12 just hanging out, and like they're freaking like. So, are you ever at the big table?
I mean, that's where you sit when you're there, and the more you sit there, the more you get into it, and a lot of the comics will always talk about how it's different now. It's different. Back in the day when Patrice was there, he'd be roasting everyone.
Yeah.
And you're like, it sounds like back in the day, people were mean. I think now people are a bit kinder, but that's just because, like, Norton and Quinn and Robinson are all a bit older and a bit friendlier, right? Yeah. But it's so intimidating. When you first, like, I have a friend who came with me, and he's like, I sit down, and then I forgot that I'm at the table. And he sat at a different table. I was like, dude, do you not like me anymore? He's like, no, that's the table. I can't sit there. And, like, I go there for brunch shows on Sundays, and I bring my daughter with me. Like, I have photos of my daughter sat at the table. And, like, to me, it's this friendly, welcoming place. But, yeah, when you first start playing the Cellar, oh, my gosh, you don't want to sit down there because people are like, everyone's nice, but if they haven't seen you, they're going to be a bit like, okay, who are you to sit down here? Right. And then once you start gigging together, and they're like, oh no, you're good.
Well, that's what
it's like this beautiful family.
But that's what I'm talking about. The table itself is legendary. Like, it's been in movies. When Chris Rock did that movie, I forgot what the Top 5, whatever it was, the one he filmed that Sirius too. He did this movie, and he does about 60% of the movies at the Cellar. And he comes out and he shows the table and shows everybody sitting at the table. And it was like this epic thing. And that's why everyone was laughing when I said, like, Jesus and the 12 apostles. But it is like the creme de la creme sit there in judgment over you. And it's like, you got to make sure these fuckers laugh, because if they ain't laughing, you ain't doing your job. And these guys have been there, and women too. They've been there. They've seen it all. I'm not, every time I say these guys, I don't want some asshole. You left out women. Now I have to write a letter. It's holy ground, is my point. The Comedy Cellar is a holy ground. So for you to be on that stage working all those times, you got to be first off and foremost a talent. I've seen a couple of your things. I saw you when you were on the Late Show. With Stephen Colbert there. You did great stand-up, and you rapped, and you did all the good stuff. What's next for you? I know you're playing Helium. That's why you're here. You're on the show. You're playing Helium in Pennsylvania. But what else do you do?
I don't think we've got we haven't actually got the Pennsylvania one we did a couple of months ago. We've got a bunch of dates coming up all around the place over the rest of the year. But I'll be back in Helium. I'm just doing a bunch of shows, like starting to kind of, I moved to New York about a year ago, have been just working really hard in the city, doing a lot of spots at the Cellar, working on a lot of, jokes. And I'm just starting to hit the road this September, just kind of hitting up clubs all over the country and going places I've never been before. Like, I've never been to Texas, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of shows in Texas, which, it's one of the joys of doing comedy. You get to travel. I'm excited, as someone who grew up watching so much American TV and American movies, to go to places that I only know from movies. Like I'm flying to Detroit tomorrow. I've been to Detroit a couple of times, but like the first time you go to Detroit, you're like, this is Detroit, or like you go to Chicago, this is Chicago. And it's so exciting to me as someone who's from a completely different world.
Of course.
To be able to go there, but realize that everyone is connected by this, this universal language of just making people laugh.
All right, let's take a vote. Chicago or Detroit? Not Chicago. Fuck that. Texas or Detroit? Billy, Ricky, and Joe. Which one does he have more of a chance of getting shot?
Oh, Texas.
Texas?
Detroit.
I would say Detroit.
Detroit's always been bad for years.
So that's what I'm saying. Bring protection, and not just the one you put in your wallet.
Texas
bring protection, Chris. You know what I'm
saying? Everybody carries a gun in Texas.
Yeah, Texas, the mailman has a gun. Yeah, everybody has a gun in Texas.
My dog has a gun in Texas.
Damn right.
Carries it around his collar.
So
if they don't like you, they'll shoot you.
They're gonna shoot you. They'll shoot you anyway. Yeah. All right. So speaking of fucking, if they don't like you, Chris, when did you? By the way, we're talking to Chris Turner, stand-up comic and rapper, meteorologist. He does a whole bunch of stuff.
ChrisTurnerComedy.com.
Yeah, ChrisTurnerComedy.com for the website, so you get all his dates and everything else, and maybe you go see him in Detroit, Texas, Chicago, everywhere else. I always find this interesting, and I love to ask stand-ups this, Chris. When did you know you were good? Like, how long until you were on a stage and you're like, you know what, I can fucking actually do this comedy thing. I can actually
feel
do
good
this.
about it.
Yeah, I don't suck.
Yeah, I think one thing that all stand-ups have in common is they are oblivious to how bad they are right at the start.
Of course.
I think we think we are amazing from our first ever show. Like my third gig, I didn't get booed off stage. I got silent off stage. The audience were silent, and I left the stage. And I wrote down in my notebook 5 out of 10. Like that. That's how much of an idiot you have to be.
I thought it was good.
You gotta have that confidence,
yeah.
Otherwise it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, but Joe, when the audience is silent,
right,
and he's saying 5 out of 10, that's a little delusional. I'm just saying, it's a little delusional.
You gotta believe, man.
It hurts.
No, you can believe in yourself, but you gotta also know when the shit is shit.
Well,
you work so
I'm sure
hard.
you do deep down, but you really, to always improve and make yourself better and all that. But if you don't have that ego that I'm good, I'm better than anybody out there, I'm just getting in there, I have no faith in you.
Yeah, but Chris is absolutely right. Some stand-ups shouldn't have that right out of the box. Like if you were in like Chris Turner on stage did not think
he deserve it. I don't know if they deserve it.
Let me ask Chris, since he's on our guest. Chris, when you first started, you didn't think you were the greatest thing since sliced bread, did you?
No, not at all. Because you love to get into comedy. You love comedy, so you look at the people that you think are funny, and you want to be as funny as them. You know that you're not, but you think you could be.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's confidence.
Yeah, but you have to have the confidence is there, Joe. For you to have the ability, like a Chris Turner or any other stand-up we've had, even Tommy Davidson, who we've had on the show, like any big names, comic that we've had, for you to get onto a stage, that takes confidence. The same way, like Chris Bauer was just talking about doing theater. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it takes, you got to have the balls to stand on a stage and be in the middle of a spotlight. And then the worst part,
make people laugh.
And the worst part is with a comic, I gotta make you fucking laugh.
People go there. Some people with really bad attitudes going, "Well, make me laugh," and they cross their arms and they stare at you until.
So wait, we didn't even let Chris answer the question. Chris, when did you know you were good?
I think, and it links to this, right? In the UK, everyone's least favorite place to do shows is a city called Liverpool.
Okay.
Which is this incredible city for nightlife. Like, everyone's drunk all the time. Liverpool, obviously, home to great music. But the comedy club, if you walk on stage, within the first 10 seconds, the audience, they can tell if you're funny or not. They know. They can just feel it. And if you don't make them laugh within the first 30 seconds, they will give you the worst time of your life. They will just tear you to pieces. It's like being sat at the table in the Comedy Cellar, but with 300 people all just telling you how terrible you are, what you look like, that you've messed up your life. I would say the first time I ever did like a full weekend of shows in Liverpool, and someone asked me where I was gigging, and I was like, yeah, I did these shows in Liverpool. Like, it went really well. People were like, wait, you didn't get heckled? I'm like, no, I handled it. They're like, you must be doing well. Like, that might be the time, and that might have been like 6 or 7 years into doing stand-up where I was able to kind of hold my own in a rowdy club on a weekend.
Wow.
And being like, tell you what, I must be pretty good to manage a weekend in Liverpool.
I heard a good story that 4 guys from Liverpool, they actually made it big.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Yeah, but they spent a lot of time in Germany.
Yeah, and they sucked on stage in the beginning,
That's
too.
it. They spent so much time in Hamburg. Yeah, they had to get good in Hamburg before they dare play in Liverpool.
Oh, there you go.
And they didn't do comedy.
No. I mean, some of their songs, yeah, they did.
Some would have argued
The early stuff.
Yeah.
The early stuff.
Fucking Yellow Submarine. We're talking to Chris Turner, stand-up comic, philosopher, Tomb Raider, also rapper. While we have you on, Chris, would it be possible to get you to freestyle and we give you weird shit that you have to make into a rap?
Sure, we can do that. It might sound kind of weird because we've got to have a beat in the background, but I'll keep that low, and you tell me what you want to rap about.
Oh, Chris is providing the beat. Awesome, even better. That's even better.
That's so
all
much
right.
better.
So we need like some weird shit. I want to test the skill level of Chris Turner. So I want mine, Chris. I want you to somehow throw in the words "aborted fetus."
Make it easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Aborted fetus.
Aborted fetus. Ricky, give him something to throw into the rap.
Yeah, go to someone. Let me think of something.
All right, we'll go to somebody else because you're obviously not prepared. Let's go to Billy. Billy, give. So far, we have aborted fetus on the board.
I know. Now Cheese Whiz sounds so
No,
bad.
Cheese Whiz great. Cheese Whiz, that's
I know,
great.
But it
all right,
sounds so bad.
It's Cheese Whiz, aborted fetus. Ricky, do you have one yet?
Outdoor movie theater.
Outdoor movie theater. Oh, this is gonna be fucking
Outdoor
hard.
movie theater. Thank you for providing providing something more every day.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You've never seen an aborted fetus. Let's stop. And let's go to Joe. Joe. So far, we have aborted fetus, Cheese Whiz, outdoor movie theater. Give him a word, Joe.
Mr. Hitler.
Mr. Hitler. Oh, this is perfect. This will play good in Hamburg. All right, listen.
Cheese Whiz and Hitler. Everybody knows Hitler hated cheese.
Yes, it's a known thing. Him and Ava Braun used to fight about it all the time. All right, so here's the list for Chris Turner. We have aborted fetus. We have Cheese Whiz, outdoor movie theater, and what was it, Mr. Hitler?
Mr. Hitler.
Mr. Hitler.
Perfect.
All right, Chris Turner, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm dropping a little beat. It's coming through. As long as you can hear me, it doesn't matter if you can hear the music. I can hear it. This is a freestyle. That is a rap made up on the spot based entirely on suggestions about all those things. Aborted fetus, Cheese Whiz, outdoor movie theater, and Mr. Hitler. And we'll start with the most mundane, and we'll take it on from there. Eddie's saying, please, Chris, I need this. Serve it up, spread it out nice like Cheese Whiz. I might boast that I put the cheese on toast. It's like the spread there in the jar, if you know. Basically, it's so yellow and thick. Made by Kraft, I'm a Cheese Whiz addict. It's like crack to me. I keep it there in my pantry, there in the cupboard. Always got it on handsy. I take it as a snack. Do a big yawn, then I put it down my throat like a bit of popcorn, and I'm near to the screen there in the theater, not inside, outdoor yet. I can hear the crickets chirping in the back of the car. It's a drive-in there, movie theater. What am I watching? Yeah, you know, I acknowledge this. Indiana Jones 5, amateur archaeologist. Like you said, I was a Tomb Raider. Oh no, I impregnated someone with babies. I don't want it later. Makes me weak. If you're in Iowa, don't wait for 6 weeks because they banned that stuff. I know they taught it. You need this, not Cheese Whiz, but fetus aborted. I know it might look opposite of the color. Maybe red, maybe yellow. I'll be spending the dollar, and I'm looking so evil. I'll be preferring. Hello there. I'm a man who's German. I'm serving so many abhorrent crimes. But if you call me Mr., me or my, I'll be wake up. Yes, you know that I was born. I be married to Miss Ava Brown. I killed myself down in my bunker now, but it's okay, Mr. Hitler. I hunker down. One thing, I think about this in my dream. If I travel back past in the time machine, I'm gonna go to the lady who be Hitler's mum, and I give her a bit of plan B, saying get rid of the baby now. Need to rid it, evacuate, won't get it out. That's the thing that we solve when we see this rap about how Mr. Hitler became that aborted fetus.
Oh! Son of a bitch!
That's
Wow.
cool, man.
Now I want to buy the album. I want to buy the album.
Very cool.
Chris Turner's
The
new album.
album's name is Mr. Hitler, the aborted fetus.
Yes.
That's a good title.
I like when he was spreading it like Cheese Whiz, Billy. Come on, it's good stuff. That was like mayo on salami. You know what I'm saying? It's good stuff.
It's such
Leave my salami alone.
it's such an incredible talent. Like to actually remember the topics that are brought up.
Yep.
Then lay them out and get
pluck
them
them
all,
out of thin air and then make them fit. Yeah.
all intertwined perfectly.
That's definitely a gift.
By the way,
It's funny.
the Facebook Live is going nuts. People are giving them a standing O.
Standing O.
Good job. Good
That's
job.
very kind. I appreciate them.
So, you know what? Tell them where you're going to be, where you're going to be performing so they can do that. Because you do this in your act. This is part of your act. So tell them where to go.
No, this is part of the tour. So, head to ChrisTurnerComedy.com or BritishComedian.com for the actual dates. But I'm coming through to Atlanta, to Dallas. I'll be in North Carolina. And then we're going to be coming through to Portland, Oregon, L.A., and then later in the year, going to be doing some stuff up in Austin and then Denver. And there's more dates being added all the time.
Let me tell you right now.
Those just places.
Let me tell you right now. In Texas, do the aborted fetus one. That's going to go over well.
They'll go crazy.
They're going to go crazy over it. What's a place with a lot of Jews? L.A.?
Florida.
Mr. Hitler.
New York.
New York.
No, besides that, because he said he's playing L.A. I'm going from his repartee, where he's playing. So a Mr. Hitler song in L.A. might actually, flow well. So I'm saying, I'm thinking of the big business.
The cheese whiz, given how many lactose intolerant people are in California.
That's true, yes.
No, Billy, you might have started something. You might cause more problems than Hitler or an aborted fetus, Billy. You see where you started?
Never know.
God damn it.
I'm good.
Chris, you are a talent. Let me tell you that right now. The talent, Chris Turner. That should be your name now. The talent, Chris Turner. Chris Turner, Billy, what was the website again? Go ahead.
Chris
Turner Comedy. Oh, sorry, Billy. I'll let you do it.
Chris Turner Comedy.
Yeah, but now Billy, you have to do it in the British accent. ChrisTurnerComedy.com.
Right, it just doesn't work for me.
It's just like being back home.
It's like, we're all fucking Cockney over here. ChrisTurnerComedy.com, you bastard. That's what we do.
Hey, do it in the Italian accent.
Oh, it's ChrisTurnerComedy.com. Baffangulo tutti quanti. Hey, you fucking salami with your mail up your fucking ass.
Fucking watch it.
There you go. Round of applause for Chris Turner, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, thank you for being on the program, sir.
Thank you, Head.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
Anytime, sir. You have an open invitation. You want to come back? The door is wide open for you, sir.
I will take you up on that. Can't wait to see what you want to rap about next time.
Yeah. Ooh, let me start my list now.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, soiled panties.
How do I top aborted fetus?
Ooh.
Come on, let's think of something.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of ways.
Well, maybe she keeps the baby this time. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.